Hello, my name is Philip and today I'm going to be doing a request. Recently I did a short of Alice Nakiri from Food Wars and it went off. And I actually got asked if I could do a toot, which I hope that means tutorial because that's what I'm doing today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow down the footage for you so I can explain what I did to create Alice Nakiri. So let's check it out. Now as always I start off with the basic shapes. Now I had this clear image in my head because it's the Food Wars, so my idea was simply a chef presenting a cake. And that's all it was. So what I started off with was the basic shape of a cake. So I'm thinking 3D, so I drew a 3D triangle piece of cake. Then the next point I needed to do was actually draw the head, presenting. So first off I drew a nice circle to get the big shape of an anime head, because anime heads are a lot wider than normal size heads. Then I put in my center line, and I put in the jawline from the circle connecting to that point. Next thing I want to do was make sure I got the form of the character right. So I did the basic shape of the body and having the arm coming forward. Next thing, of course, is very simple, putting the hand forward. Now, the hand was basically going to be like this, as you can see. You don't see most of the fingers, so I just basically focus on the thumb and the forefinger, the rest is behind. Okay, so now we're working on the face. Now, the placement of the eyes, you'll notice that manga eyes are quite big and they're also probably further apart than most normal eyes. So what you want to think of here is big circles. Now, you want to have a big circle in the center, and from that center circle, 2 circles on either side. That'll give you the right distance for anime eyes and the right position. Plus, if you make them nice and big, it makes them so much more cuter. Now I'm adding the details of the eye. Now with anime eyes and manga eyes, you'll notice that you don't connect the bottom of the eye. You have the nice thick top, but you don't connect the bottom. You can have a line, but it doesn't join. Now with the pupils of the eyes, this is a good trick. If your character is actually focusing on something in front of you, don't draw the eyes dead straight, bring them in, make them a little cross-eyed. This gives the impression that they're actually focusing in on something. So if your character is focusing in, cross-eyed. Nose was just a sideways V, very easy. And the mouth is just a simple closed anime mouth, which means there's skin here. So you have a line this side and a line this side, which they don't connect. Now because I'm working digitally, I can rearrange shapes of things if I don't like them very easily. So I made the head a little bit bigger. And now I'm starting to add the shapes for the hair. Not individual strands of hair, lots of jagged lines. So the thing with hairstyles, you want to make sure that the hairstyle is consistent with your character the whole way through. That way people can easily recognize, oh, that's that character, that's Alice Nakiri. Because usually when someone draws a face, they usually draw a face the same way pretty much every time. So the hairstyle is often the thing that actually differentiates the characters. So make sure your hairstyle is consistent. Now I'm just adding a few fine details on the cake, a little bit of fluffy clouds at the base for the cream, a little bit of fluffy clouds at the top, got a strawberry, just a few little spot details, and different lines for the different layers of the cake. Okay, so now I'm inking, which means I'm putting in my final lines. So this means that I've finished the rough draft of my picture, so I'm going to finalize it now by going over the lines that I want to keep. Now what I'm doing is I'm laying down my flats. Now what that means is I'm putting in a base color for the general areas. So what that basically means is you're putting down one color for the certain zone. So like for the head, one skin tone. Now I'm putting in the background, and I didn't want there to be too much details in the background. So I was thinking like a kitchen. So I put in some grays in the center there. So it just gives you the impression that it's a kitchen with a nice yellowy background. Okay? You don't need to put too much detail in the background because that's not where the focus should be. So now what I'm doing, I'm starting to play with the colors with it. Okay, so let me explain it to you like this. What I've done is I've got printouts here. So imagine each printout is a layer. Each layer is basically like a clear piece of paper. And the idea is that because it's a clear piece of paper, you can actually put on another clear piece of paper behind it so you can see through. Whereas if you have just paper, you can't really see what's behind it. So basically think where it's white with a layer, it's actually clear. So we've got this layer here, which is our inks. All of the black lines, all defined, the picture's crisp, just the lines though. Then what I did is I did my flats. Now see how you can't actually see the lines? That's because the line layer is over the top. But then I have my overlay layer. Now this layer is the layer that I basically call my shadows. Now you'll notice that I used a blue for most of the shadows, and I used a yellow for the highlights to make the skin just glow that little bit. Now when I switch it to what's called overlay, this is actually normal so you can actually see it. If it was overlay, it'd be just a white piece of paper. But when it's put onto color, it'll actually show you the shadows of our color. So ultimately what I have is my inks layer, followed by my overlay layer, followed by my flats layer, followed by my background layer, which would give you the final image, which you can't really see right here. So I'll do this. And there you have it. That's how I drew Alice Nakiri from Food Wars. Now, I actually drew a lot of cool mainstream characters in my shorts list. So I do anime characters, comic characters, gaming characters. They're all there. Make sure you check them out on my shorts list. And if you want to improve your anime game, make sure you check out this video where I show you in detail how to draw an anime head. Or if you want to improve your anime eye game, make sure you check out this video where I show you how to do just that.